Okay, welcome to the explainer. Now, what if I told you that you could build a pretty complex app just by describing it, with a single sentence? Well, Google has this new tool called Opal that claims it can do exactly that. So today, we're going to find out if this thing is a real game changer or if it's all just hype.
So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we're going to look at the incredible promise behind Opal. Then, we'll put it to the test and see where the magic really works and, where it kind of falls apart. After that, we'll put it head-to-head with a real pro tool, and finally, we'll answer that big question. Is this thing really the future?
All right, so let's dive right in. What exactly is this tool that is everybody talking? Let's get to the bottom of what Google is actually promising us with Opal.
I mean, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? You just describe the workflow you want and boom, Opal's AI builds it for you. And behind the curtain, it's using this absolute powerhouse trio of Google's best models. You got Gemini for text, Imagen for images, and Veo for video, all working together to make the magic happen.
A promise this huge immediately makes you wonder about everything else. I mean, if this really works, why would anyone ever again spend hours manually clicking and dragging to build complex workflows? It's a huge question, and we've got to put it to the test.
Okay, the marketing pitch sounds fantastic. We get it. But how does Opal actually perform when you throw a real challenge at it? We ran a whole series of tests to see where the magic is and, well, where the illusion completely breaks.
So, for our first test, we gave it this really creative but pretty complex prompt for a game concept. And honestly, the result was pretty stunning. With just that one sentence, Opal didn't just spit out some text. It built an entire concept page. And get this, it was pulling in live map data and even weather data for Seoul to really flesh out this cyberpunk world. Wild.
And this is exactly where you really feel that wow factor with Opal. To get this level of quality for free in literally just a few seconds, it's genuinely, seriously impressive.
But the magic definitely has its limits. Next, we asked it to write a blog post. And yeah, the written analysis was solid, but the images it generated were a total letdown. They were low quality, super generic, and just screamed, "I was made by AI." This was really the first big crack in that perfect facade.
Okay, so creating something from scratch is one thing, but can it actually modify an app that's already been made? And, maybe more importantly, can it connect to the outside world? For this next test, we tried to add a brand new feature and link it out to an external service like YouTube. This is the real test. And yep, here's where we hit a wall. A really big one. Now, Opal understood the part about adding a character design, but that YouTube upload? Total failure. It just completely choked on the security and permissions, that whole digital handshake you need to do to talk to an outside app.
And listen, this was not a one-off thing. We kept pushing it, and the same pattern just kept showing up. Opal really struggles with two of the most basic, fundamental pieces of automation: running tasks on a schedule and actually connecting to other services. It even failed to write data to Google Sheets, which is its own sibling in the Google family. That's a bad look.
So all of these limitations, they bring up a really critical comparison. How does a tool like Opal, in the state it's in right now, actually measure up against, say, a heavyweight automation platform like NN?
When you get right down to it, it's about two totally different philosophies. Opal is all in on speed and simplicity. The whole idea is you just describe what you want. NNN, on the other hand, is all about power and flexibility. It gives you the granular tools to build exactly what you want, piece by painful piece sometimes.
And this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? Take a look at the target user. Opal is absolutely perfect for beginners, or maybe marketers, anyone who just needs a quick AI prototype to show an idea. But then you look at API integration and complexity, and it's clear that NNN is built for developers and power users, the people who need that deep, custom, scalable control.
Okay, so we've seen the magic, and man, we have hit the walls. It's time to bring it all home and give the final verdict. Is Google Opal the revolution in app building that it was cracked up to be?
So here's the bottom line. Opal's strengths, that incredible speed and just how easy it is to use, are absolutely game-changing for just coming up with ideas. But its weaknesses, especially that inability to connect with basically any external app, are a complete and total deal-breaker for any serious real-world automation, at least for right now.
So, the big question, is Opal an NAN killer? Not even close. Not yet anyway.
The verdict is pretty clear. You should think of Opal as this brilliant co-pilot for brainstorming, for prototyping AI-powered ideas. It's the spark, but it's not the engine. It's a fantastic complement to the heavy lifting tools, but it is absolutely not a replacement.
And this is a really big but. This is just the beginning. And it leaves us with a really fascinating thought to end on. If, or maybe when, Google solves this connection problem, what happens then? The line between just having an idea and having a fully functional application might just almost disappear entirely. And that is a wild future to think about.